Hey guys, Andrew here with Mustang Lifestyle. No, I'm just kidding. But we are going to pick up the Bullet right now. Andrew is traveling, so I'm gonna go pick it up, bring it back to the house, and we are installing a front lip and side skirt. So pretty exciting. Which car do we want to take? Probably take the old Drift Marrow. All right, off to Andrew's. Now this handbrake is so sick. The guys over at Drift HQ really killed it. This is the same handbrake that Andrew will be running in Bullet. I really feel like we need a V-roll, so just to show you guys how sick this is. So V-roll now. We made it here. There's the Bullet. And what we got happening today, a little bit of magic drift. We won't be drifting it, that's just the name of the company. We got some side skirts and a front splitter. So I will be putting that on today. The fact that the Bullet has AC, oh, it's so clutch, because it is hot today. All right, let's go grab the parts and then we'll get out of here. Banana, you'll be back soon. GT5. All right, let's go ahead and head out. I'll be back, Camaro. Clutch on this thing is gnarly. I mean, this VMP knob, let's see if I can get that to focus, is pretty impressive. New leather, looks good. See the wideband. Deciding when it wants to work. All right, let's do this. Doing good on gas. I mean, for what it is, this thing, the drivability is pretty easy, to be honest. It's not hard to drive at all. I mean, the cable clutch is a little bit of a leg workout, but aside from that, like, idles perfectly. It's a fun car. Fun car to drive. Yep, third gears, forgot about that. Stay out of third. Unless you're Andrew, then you just no lift shift it. Yeah, so we cut the springs in the back, if you guys don't remember, when Andrew got the wrap done. And it rides, honestly, it rides so smooth for cut springs. Oh no! Guys, it's starting to pour down rain. And if you didn't know, these tires are wrecked. So they're drag radials and they're showing wire. So, Andrew, if you're hearing this, I didn't make it. out of third. Gotta remind myself. Should I give it a little sauce in first? Do you have to turn traction control off? No, it's already off. Bald tires and a little bit of sauce. Let's see. One hand. Let's see what we got. Oh, this thing is fun. This thing is fun. What's up with that alignment though? I'm trying to go straight. Don't know if you guys can see that, but that is a lot of rain up ahead. So it's about to get pretty sketchy pretty quick. We're doing about 65, but that is a downpour up there. So should be fun. Bald tires, bald radials at that. Still gonna send it. Where's the wipers? Ah! Oh, it's so sketchy. It's so sketchy. We're gonna die. Oh, this is so bad. All right, we made it. Right there. All right, safe and sound. Now I have to say this car was so much fun to drive. All right, we made it. You know where we're at based on the Chevy sign. So this car was a lot of fun to drive aside from almost dying in the rain. But no, in all seriousness, a lot of fun to drive. Such a simple setup, just a 0.3 turbo kit and stock, completely stock motor. I grinded third, forgot that it had a transmission issue, but other than that, a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and install the, first I'm gonna let it cool down, but we're gonna install the front lip that we got here and the side skirts. So stay tuned. I really do like this car. So guys, before we get started, I just wanted to point out, if you have not already done so, make sure that you are subscribed to YouTube, you are following on Instagram, Mustang Lifestyle and Whistler Wheels, and then you tag 3 friends in the bullet post of the new wrap and new wheels. Doing this is going to enter you into the sweepstakes to win a free set of Whistler wheels. So you don't pay for anything. You don't even have to pay for shipping if you're in the US 48 states. Do not miss out on this opportunity. Tag 3 friends. Hey, tag more than 3 friends. The more people that have the opportunity to win this set of wheels, the better. Also, if you want more entrances into the sweepstakes, go to mustanglifestyle.net, and every $5 spent is going to get you an additional entry. So if you buy a shirt, that's $20. That's 4 additional entries, which is going to increase your chance to win the set of wheels. Again, you don't pay for anything. You don't pay taxes, you don't pay shipping, you just get the wheels for free. So guys, go ahead, mustanglifestyle.net, we'll put it in the description. Also follow on Instagram and tag 3 friends on the post. We'll also put that in the description. All right, so we're ready to get started. We are installing the front lip and the side skirts on the Bullet today. What you're gonna need for this job is some self-tappers, a screwdriver, jack and jack stands. That's all it is. Maybe a second set of hands. It's just me today. I've done this plenty of times, so it won't be hard for me to do it, but I will put the link to the description in the bio for those. You want to make sure you use the proper length. What a lot of people do is they'll buy screws that are, you know, 2, 3, 4 times the size that they actually need. You only want this to penetrate the lip and then maybe a 1/4 of an inch into the factory side skirt. You don't want to go too deep, otherwise you can start screwing into things that you really don't need to be screwing into things. gonna start front to back. You can see the jack is holding up the front. There's pre-drilled holes, but my recommendation, if you use the holes, also put a screw in between, because the pre-drilled holes are about 12 inches apart, and realistically every 6 inches would be a lot better, especially for a car that's going to see track usage, and Andrew is not afraid to send it on the highway. So every 6 inches, guys. That's what she said. So right now what I'm doing is just going through the pre-drilled holes. See if I can focus on that. So it has pre-drilled holes all along. Once I do the pre-drilled holes, I'm gonna come in between the pre-drilled holes. Let me see if I can zoom out. And you can see that that's about a foot from one another, about 12 inches. And just for safety, I'm gonna put one in between. Also, if you do the further apart, let me just see if I can show you guys. The further apart you do it, eventually you'll have waves because the screws are so far apart. That's just the nature of the plastic over time, especially in the sun. It'll be able to see where the screws are. Well, it won't be able to see it. But the heat will basically put waves, and the only parts that are going to remain flat are the areas close to the screws. So that's why the closer proximity to the screws, the better it's going to look. Right, so just trust me on this one. Trust the Camaro guy. Do the screws closer. All right, I'll save you guys the boring details. I'm just gonna do the same exact thing to the other side. Exactly like I did to the passenger side. I'm gonna repeat those steps on the driver's side, and then I'll come back to you guys when I am ready to put the lip on. All right, so ran into a little bit of a problem. On this side skirt, you'll notice it scoots all the way up, or the side skirt extension piece, it scoots all the way up and it sits flush underneath this piece. But if we go to the other side, this comes down way more. You'll notice that it's not cut off right there. So what's happening is it won't allow me to put the side skirt extension in place. So it's causing it to be about a ½ inch too long in the back. So I have a couple options. I can cut this about a ½ inch, but then proportion wise, the driver's side isn't gonna be the same as the passenger. The alternative is to cut this. And since the passenger side is already cut, that's exactly what we're gonna do. So again, all I'm gonna do is cut it flush, cut this mudguard flush, so we could slip the side skirt extension piece underneath it, and the passenger side will look exactly like the driver's side. The last thing we want is one side to be different than the other. So let's go ahead and do that. All you need to take it off is just a small little screwdriver right there. I'm going to turn the wheel. Of course the wheel is locked. I'm gonna grab the key. All right, so to take this off, you just have to remove this screw. Let me turn the wheel so I got some room. I want to check if there's anything binding the steering, because when we were doing the video shoot the other day, we noticed the smell of rubber. My guess is that the wheel is somewhere hitting right here. It looks like it might actually be right there. Let me go get some light so I can see a little better. Yeah, it does look like that's the spot. Let me get under the car. If you look, the wheel is not only hitting the front, but it's also hitting in the back. So how we fix that, what I'm going to recommend to Andrew, and first of all, I'm upset that this car has more steering angle than the Camaro. What I'm going to recommend to Andrew is we just do maybe a 10mm spacer in the front, and that'll get it far enough away from the exhaust, because the alternative would be to rerun the entire exhaust, and I doubt he's going to want to do that. So the cheaper solution, run a 10, maybe even a 20mm spacer in the front, and that should fix it. All right, we're just gonna make a nice smooth cut right there. Andrew, I'm sorry. I'd call that a success. Perfectly cut. Now we're ready to rock. Andrew had this on with just one screw in the front and then these two on the bottom, and it was kind of hanging because there should be clips on the top. Now he didn't have the clips, but I did happen to have some extra clips from the Camaro because I rip off my side skirts all the time. So we're gonna put some Camaro parts on this Bullet. How excited are you? So this should, ooh, okay, okay. Looks like it may not fit. All right, we're gonna have to modify this little guy. I can either do a slit right there. All right, driver's side is done, and it is exactly proportionate to this side. Checked my measurements, everything is exact. Obviously you don't need to do it this way, you can just eyeball it, but me being me, I'm pretty OCD about it. I want to make sure that my passenger side matches my driver's side. So yeah, that is done. Now we have the front splitter. So I'll show you guys the process for installing this now. What you're going to need for this, just to make your life easier, is a couple of clamps. You can get these from Amazon for like $1 a piece. I'll put the link in the description. But basically I'm going to clamp the lip to the car and use the jack in the middle. So two of these will go on the side, the jack will be in the middle. Then I'll start my self tappers with the front lip. I also like to do at least 4 nuts and bolts. So you do your self tappers to line everything up, and then just use a couple of nuts and bolts, just because, again, Andrew being Andrew, he is going to send it, and I want to make sure that it is sturdy enough to withstand basically the downforce that's going to be applied. So let's go ahead and get started on that. All right, so I can already see a problem. Let me show you guys. See how there's like, I don't even know how to explain it, a bend in the plastic? That's basically going to make it to where when I mount it on the car, it's going to give a wavy appearance, and I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is just take a heat gun and heat that up and fix the bend, and then we'll go ahead and install. So let's knock that out real quick. Put your heat gun setting on about 500. To be honest, you can turn it up as much as you want. You are going to want to use some gloves or something to bend it. Alright, that should do the trick. If you notice, I just bent it in instead of having it bent up. If it's bent up, then that's going to cause the ripple effect. If it's bent down, then it'll be fine. So we have everything lined up. Now we're just going to start screwing in exactly like we did the side skirts. Again, when you're doing this, go ahead and get everything screwed in about 12 inches apart in proximity, but then come back and do 6 inches apart.